Gentlemen, and welcome to the Delta Center for game number 6 of the NBA Finals. With the Chicago Bulls and our Utah Jazz. And now introducing the starting lineup for the Chicago Bulls. Wearing number 7, starting forward at 6'11" from Croatia, Toni Kukoc. Wearing number 33, starting forward at 6'7" from Central Arkansas, Scottie Pippen. Wearing number 13, the starting center at 7 feet from New Mexico, Luke Longley. On the guard line, number 9 at 6'6" from Miami of Ohio, Ron Harper. And at guard, number 23 at 6'6" from North Carolina, Michael Jordan. The Bulls are coached by Phil Jackson.
Maravich pulls out the turnaround jumper. Good. Pistol. Maravich. The Jazz win their first ever Midwest Division title. Unbelievable.
Magic down the alley. Goes to Green. Block by Eaton. Picks up on Magic. Block by Eaton. Oh, baby. Big mark everywhere.
He did it. He did it. A new NBA assist king. John Stockton.
Congratulations, Karl Malone, 1996-97 NBA Most Valuable Player.
John Stockton sends the Utah Jazz to the NBA Finals.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing our Utah Jazz. Starting at forward, number 32 at 6'9" from Louisiana Tech, the mailman, Karl Malone. Starting forward, number 3 at 6'7" from Long Beach State, Brian Russell. The starting center, number 31 at 6'9" from Stanford, Adam Keefe. On the guard line, number 12 at 6'1" from Gonzaga, John Stockton. And guard, number 14 at 6'4" from Iowa State, Jeff Hornacek. The Jazz are coached by Jerry Sloan.
And as always, pre-tip, we go to Ahmad Rashad.
All right, thanks, Bob. The big news on the Bulls is the condition of Scottie Pippen. As was reported earlier in our pregame show, he did take an injection yesterday. He told me he hurt that back in Game 3 and Game 4, irritated a little bit more. Before the game today, he said he had everything he could have done to it. He had electrical stimulation, then he iced it, had ultrasound, had a massage, and then did a lot of stretching and told me that he is a little bit ginger, but nothing could keep him out of a game like this. Let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Ahmad. One further Bulls note. I just spoke to Ron Harper. He is suffering the effects of the flu. He's very weak. He can't hold any food down. He will start. He will play. Just how long and how effective he doesn't know. As for Howard Eisley, I spoke to him. He's still suffering from vertigo. He's telling me before the game he's a little dizzy. He's a little disoriented. He is going to play. Coach Sloan is just going to keep his eye on him. If he cannot go, John Stockton will take his minutes. Finally, I spoke to Karl Malone. Karl Malone told me he's going to the basket early tonight. He's going to be very aggressive early in the game. He wants to get Longley and Rodman into foul trouble. Not many outside shots at all. He finally went on to say, we're down 3-2. I know this sounds crazy. However, I like our position, and I'm confident we can win this series. Bob?
Jim, thanks a lot. The officials are Dick Bavetta and Hugh Hollins, who worked Game 3, each of them in Chicago, and Danny Crawford, who worked Game 2 of the finals here at the Delta Center. The Bulls are just 4-4 on the road in the playoffs, and in fact have lost 4 of their last 5 road games against their toughest opponents, the Pacers and the Jazz. Jordan guarded by Russell. Hornacek will open on Pippen. He'll try and post Scottie on him. They go to it right away. Stockton comes over on the double team. Now back to Scottie, and they couldn't recover. Hornacek was left alone with him, and an easy 2 for Scottie.
That's going to be the strategy here early. Try to go at Hornacek with Pippen. Michael will do a lot of the ball handling in the first period.
Malone against Longley. Has to give it up, and Jordan is the only guy there. Longley, who has contributed little offensively and has been abused defensively by Malone. It's Jordan missing his first shot, and Russell takes the rebound. It looks like Scottie Pippen is laboring as he moves up and down the court. Ahmad told you he's suffering from a bad back. Malone hits his first. 17 of 27 in Game 5. As the whole Utah team shot better than 50%. Hooked away, Malone chases it to the side. It'll belong to Chicago.
Bob, I think Scottie Pippen pulled his back out on that dunk shot on his first play when he reached up for the rim and he pulled it down. I think he stretched up and he grimaced as he came down and he could barely run.
Harper guarded by Stockton. Pippen against Hornacek. Draws the double. Harper's the guy they'd like to leave alone. Kukoc isn't. But this time he misfires. Hornacek lost it to Longley. Now Pippen has it. All alone, Kukoc.
The one thing you don't want to do if you're Utah is get into a quick turnover battle here and give them easy points, especially Kukoc. Remember, he loves to get off early in quarters, and then he's a load the rest of the game.
Hornacek from Stockton ties the game at 4.
That was a great screen by Karl Malone. Hornacek set Michael Jordan up beautifully, and in a great entry pass by Stockton.
Kukoc. You wonder if the Bulls went to Kukoc enough in Game 5. With Jordan and Pippen struggling, Kukoc was on fire but got only 13 shots.
Yeah, Kukoc has the size advantage and also the speed advantage over Adam Keefe, and he can take them inside. Also, he can stick the outside J.
Malone got inside of Longley and drew the foul.
Now you watch Pippen come across the lane, and as he reaches up to dunk, he pulls his back out, and you see him grimace as he comes up the floor. Let's keep our eye on Scottie Pippen tonight.
Let's check in with Ahmad.
Bob, Scottie Pippen's really having a bad problem. In trying to bring the ball down, you can notice Michael sending him down the floor so he can bring the ball up. Now, as we mentioned earlier, that the strategy was to go to Scottie in the post. If his back continues to bother him, they may have to change that strategy. Bob?
You can see him with his hands on his knees, bending over, trying to limber up, wincing quite a bit. Malone hits the first. Generally, he and the Jazz team have not gone to the free throw line in the finals as often as they did during the regular season and in the earlier playoff rounds. The Bulls have had a big edge at the free throw line.
Jim Gray is listening to Jerry Sloan over on the sideline. He says Jerry is already complaining about illegal defense early in the game. Let's see if the next time down the floor the referees hear him once again. Remember, that was something that was big in the United Center. He was able to get the referee's attention. I thought it helped his team.
Harper trying to back in on Stockton, and the whistle goes against Utah. It's Stockton's first.
See, what Chicago will try to do is put a lot of pressure inside on the post with Harper and Pippen posting up Stockton and Hornacek.
Harper really battling with Stockton. Now he's got it. Tried to bring it back out, and Keith stole it. Hornacek loses it to Harper. And a whistle as Harper comes stampeding into the lane.
Now, Bob, Scottie Pippen came back and got that steal, but he is really struggling right now. You're going to see him come in from behind, and after he knocks this ball away, he really sort of stands, and I watched him the whole way. He looked over at the bench at Phil Jackson, like saying, I don't feel very good right now. He's standing up straight. That's the first sign of a back injury, when a guy stops bending his knees.
A back injury is one of the most crippling of injuries, especially in an athletic context. And I'm not trying to compare a physical injury to an illness, but it was here in this building where Michael Jordan, sick as a dog, managed to gut it out in Game 5 of last year's final, the pivotal game. Scottie Pippen is probably mindful of that and will give it everything he's got to try to equal the effort that his teammate Michael Jordan has shown in the past.
See, Bob, that's why I think it's very, very important for the Jazz to lock in on Tony Kukoc, because if Pippen can't score and it's only Michael Jordan, that will be to their advantage. They've got to do a job on Kukoc today.
Stockton drives on Harper, ties the game. Stockton didn't take a single shot in the fourth quarter of Game 5. His assist totals have generally been high. His shooting percentage is high, but they'd like to see him get a few more shots up toward the rim. 3-second violation against Chicago.
So you watch Stockton's aggressiveness. They've given him the baseline this whole series. This time he's able to take Harper to the baseline, get a little space, and finish on the right side of the basket.
Hornacek, Jordan up on him. Malone puts it on the floor and is fouled. It was before the shot. It's Longley's second.
This was the strategy of Karl Malone. He said, I'm going to put the pressure on the Bulls defense, not many jump shots, and he has done that. 2 quick fouls on Longley.
Hornacek is free, but can't hit. Hornacek is now 18 for 46 in the series. Jordan, there's his first field goal, and the Bulls take a 10-8 lead. If you take away Hornacek's 7 of 11 in Game 3, he's shooting around 30% for the rest of the series. 7 of 11 in Game 2, I should say here. Harper reached in and fouled. Rodman off the bench. Let's see who he replaces. Longley has 2 fouls, and it's Luke who'll go out. Russell for 3. Utah has not been hitting the threes in this series. Now 11 for 51, around 20%. They shot 37% as a team from beyond the arc for the season. Pippen with the hook. Chicago by 4. Malone screening for Stockton. His 3 isn't there. Pippen claims the rebound. Pippen had it knocked away. Hornacek got a hand on it. Stockton takes it, dishes it to Jeff, who misses the driving one-hander. Jordan is wrapped up by Keefe for the Utah foul.
You know, Pippen is really hurting, but he's playing in pain as he takes Adam Keefe into the middle and shoots his patented little jump hook. And as he falls to the floor, you can see it's very difficult for him to get up with that bad back. You see him running up the floor, not able to get the type of push and the speed that he normally would have.
Ahmad Rashad back at the Delta Center, and during that timeout, I just spoke with Chip Schaefer, the trainer for the Chicago Bulls. He said that Scottie Pippen is not sore, he is just sore, and he's having a problem really with his mobility, not able to bend over and grab the ball, but hopefully as he plays further and gets more warmed up, it'll improve. That's what they're hoping. Bob?
Ahmad, thanks.
With Scottie struggling, I think you're going to see the Jazz start picking up a little bit further down the floor. He's usually their primary ball handler. They'll try to pressure Michael and Harper up the floor, make it tougher for them to get into their offense.
Here is Pippen, out to Harper, open 3, missed it. Malone battling Rodman, and it's tipped to Stockton. Utah on the run, but Stockton circles back outside to set it up. It was kicked. Utah keeps it. Fresh 24.
You watch Malone and Rodman battling under the boards. Malone's going all out as he runs the floor. They both kick each other a little bit. The referees may clean that up.
Russell couldn't finish. Kukoc rebounds.
That's 2 layups now that the Jazz have missed here early in this first quarter. Hornacek and now Russell.
See, with Pippen hurting, I think Harper's going to have to step up big and supply the scoring load.
Jordan for 3. Got it. Jordan with 5. And Chicago with a 7-point lead. Malone on that left block, this time against Rodman. Takes him into the lane. Tries to muscle up, but loses it. Pippen back. It was tied at 8. Now Chicago's on a 7-0 run. Kukoc underneath to an unguarded Harper, and the Bulls have scored 9 unanswered points. Timeout, Utah.
So you watch Karl Malone in the low post. They're not double teaming him. They're letting Rodman play him one-on-one. Consequently, when he goes up to put up the shot, he gets stripped, and it leads to this. Kukoc on the drive, the easy dump to Harper. Harper's going to have to step up big inside for the layup. And you're watching the NBA on NBC.
The Bulls lead by 9, but here's the bad news for them. Moments ago, Scottie Pippen, accompanied by trainer Chip Schaefer, leaves the bench and heads for the locker room. With more, here's Ahmad.
All right, Bob, I just spoke with Chip, and he told me that Scottie asked out of the game, and he wants to go back in the locker room and try to stretch his back out and try to get it more loose before he tries to come back in. I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll keep you posted. Let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, thanks, Ahmad. Well, during that timeout, Jerry Sloan was about as loud and angry as he has been at his team this entire series. He said, guys, you are standing around. You're not fighting for any position defensively. You're letting the Bulls go wherever they want to go. Quit running around screens. Start running through them. Take a hard foul. Get some fight in you. Bob?
Jim, thanks. He goes to his bench. Isley is in, and so too is Antoine Carr. Carr tries to make a move on Kukoc, and there's a foul on Kukoc, his first.
Now, Bob, the reason Carr's in the game is because Utah was playing 4-on-5 offensively. With Adam Keefe in the game, Scottie Pippen wasn't going to guard him. Now you've got Kukoc who's going to have to play Antoine Carr, so now it's a 5-on-5 matchup. They've got to take advantage of this with Isley in now for Stockton.
Harper right now is on Malone. An illegal defense is called against Chicago.
Doug, I think they should have started Antoine Carr. That center position is a revolving door for them with Ostertag and Foster, and it was important for them to get off to a good start. Now they've buried themselves and find themselves in a big hole.
Ostertag and Foster have given them nothing in this series. Good pass from Malone inside to Hornacek, who converts it. That's why their lack of scoring at center is why they were interested in Ronnie Cycli and tried to get him from Orlando in a trade that eventually was voided. Jordan over Russell. Rebound to Carr, who immediately makes his presence felt.
Michael Jordan's illegal now, so the Bulls are all running around.
And it's their second illegal defense, which will result in a technical foul shot being taken.
And Jerry Sloan just got a technical. Phil Johnson comes over and settles him down a little bit. Jerry's got to maintain his composure right now. He just got the illegal defensive call for a technical, and then he follows it up with a technical of his own.
If he was arguing for the illegal defense, that's a cruel irony for him because he got the call, but now the technicals may cancel each other out. It's Jordan to shoot it first. We're told by Jim Gray from the Utah bench that the reason Sloan got his technical was arguing about this. When he was knocked down by Kukoc, there was no foul called, and that's what had Jerry hot.
Remember, that's the same thing that he did against Longley to bait him into his 5th foul in here in game 2. So I don't think the referees went for that today. I think that was a good no call.
Hornacek, an 89% free throw shooter, swishes it at the other end. Bulls with the ball, down by 7. Scott Burrell is on Russell. Rodman on Malone. And Rodman's going to be hit with a foul, I think. It is on Dennis, his first. Folks, you can log on to MSNBCSports.com as NBA Showtime extends its coverage to the internet. Check out Bill Walton's game previews, plus click on in-depth video features from NBC Sports. And you can chat with Bill Walton tomorrow at 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at MSNBCSports.com. That's a look at today's page. Malone missed the first. But not the second. To give you an idea how close this series has been, other than the Game 3 blowout, the 9-point lead the Bulls enjoyed a short while ago was the biggest lead for either team in any game, other than Game 3, of course. Kukoc misses, and Isley rebounds. Carr against Kukoc. Jumper over him is good.
See, they've got to go to that matchup. There's no way Tony Kukoc can play him. He's too powerful down there.
And Chicago wants to talk it over. Their 9-point lead has been cut to 4 with 2:58 to play in the first.
Antoine Carr is a much-needed force here. They've got to have 5 guys on the floor that can shoot the basketball to keep Chicago honest on defense. Antoine Carr with the little bang, he gets the space and makes the open jump shot. You're watching the NBA on NBC. Why you need Antoine Carr? You're going to see they're going to stay mostly at home on the perimeter against these players. All he has to do is take his time. Kukoc is not going to block his shot. Bump him a little bit and use his power down there. Now, the one thing he has to be concerned about is Kukoc loves to play defense from behind, so he can't be careless with the ball where Tony can come from behind him, Bob, and slap that thing away.
Meanwhile, we played 9 minutes. Karl Malone has attempted only 1 shot, which he made.
But he's put the pressure on the defense. He's gone to the basket, and what he's done, he's got them in the penalty here early by drawing a lot of fouls on Longley and Rodman. That will take its toll as the game goes on, Bob.
The seldom used Bill Wennington is in, along with Scott Burrell and Steve Kerr. Rodman and Jordan complete the 5 on the floor for Phil Jackson right now. Michael dishes out to Burrell. And Russell reaches in and knocks it away with 3 on the shot clock.
When Michael gives that ball up, you've got to really work hard and not let him catch it back, and that's what he did that time. Russell, excellent D.
Gotta shoot it quickly. Jordan will with a hand in his face. Burrell skies for the rebound. Moves to the side, and eventually it's Utah who has it. Here's Hornacek. A pull-up 3. It's hard to imagine Utah winning the next 2 games and taking the title unless Hornacek hits shots like that, which outside of Game 2 in this series, he hasn't been doing. Shot clock violation. Michael gave it up. They weren't even close to hosting a shot before 24 seconds.
Terrific team defense. But Isaiah, the play before, Brian Russell went down on the floor, knocked the loose ball away, and Hornacek got the 3. Those are the hustle plays that this crowd creates from this team, and they're going to need all of those today.
And this is the second time in this series where you've seen Michael Jordan lose track of the shot clock, which is very uncharacteristic for him.
Isley, who's quicker than Kerr, is guarded by Steve as he comes out of the backcourt. It's Malone. Utah with the lead. Only moments ago, they trailed by 9.
Carr came in, Isley giving him good minutes. That's been the difference.
Jordan. Rodman on the offensive glass. Wennington a good look. Wennington will hit the open jumper.
Offensive rebounds were such a key here. When the Bulls won Game 2, they did not shoot well, but they got 18 offensive rebounds.
Moving down toward a minute to play in the first. Chicago by 1. And a whistle from Dick Bavetta. Another illegal defense.
That's on Michael Jordan. He got 2 zones below his man. Hornacek stayed out behind the three-point line. Michael dropped down 2 areas, and he was spotted. Now it helps that Jerry Sloan is sitting there in the referee's ear helping him see Michael Jordan.
Hornacek hits the technical. Watch the byplay here between Malone and Rodman. A sign of respect, actually, it appeared to me.
You're it.
Chris Morris comes off the bench, making his first appearance for Utah. Antoine Carr gets a breather. There have been 3 illegal defense calls in this first quarter against Chicago.
Now, Bob, Antoine Carr is not a guy who plays heavy minutes. So I think what Jerry Sloan's going to try to do is maybe give him 5 or 6 minutes here or there to try to keep him as fresh as possible.
Kukoc comes in as soon as Carr goes out. Kukoc having trouble covering Carr defensively earlier in the game. Isley bounces to Malone, tough shot, but he cans it. Jordan over Russell. Tied at 22 with half a minute to play in the period. Malone against Wennington. Off balance, hit it, plus the foul.
See, Bob, that's what I'm talking about, being aggressive, Isaiah. Taking the ball to the basket. Isley with the give and go. He doesn't settle for the jump shot. He puts the pressure on the defense, and it's a tough shot. And the same thing, he sees Wennington on him. He says, no way I can get this shot. He bodies up. Now an opportunity for a three-point play, which would give his team a 3-point lead.
And the weak spot for the Chicago Bulls is when you get past Longley and Rodman, they have nothing behind them. Wennington can't hold Malone, and that's where they miss the big guys in terms of Caffey and O'Brien Williams. And Malone is smart to get into their bench now.
A dozen from Malone in the first quarter. A perfect 4 of 4 from the field. Almost as important, Hornacek has contributed 9. They need him. Kukoc. They had a foul to give. It looked like he traveled, but just before that, the whistle blew for the foul.
Now, Chris Morris slapped him from behind, so he took the good foul. Bulls will have to inbound the ball with 8.4 seconds to go, and Greg Foster's going to come into the game. Now, Bob Dorizi's in right now, and you give him a rest here at the end of the quarter, the last 8.4 seconds, and then the time during the break.
Jordan, double team, forces up the quarter's final shot and misses it. A better start for Carl than for Michael. Once down by 9, Utah leads after 1 by 3. And you're watching the NBA on NBC.